Hey everybody, what's up? It's Phil from Zaid Comics. I am the co-creator and writer of Magic Cop, which is a graphic novel set to launch in August on Indiegogo, and I am just one half of the two best-looking brothers in all of comics. And today we're doing a crowdfunding indie comics showcase of sorts. I think I'm going to do this every month or so, picking some comics that I'm super interested and want to get out there and help get funded. So today we're going to go over a few comics that have caught my eye. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Shinobi Sasquatch. It just went up, I think last week or a couple weeks ago on Indiegogo. The link is in the description below, and of course you could always go to indycron.com to find out more info on these and a bunch of other indie comics. So check that website out. But Shinobi Sasquatch is the brainchild of Cal Jameson. He's a writer. He actually won a Comics Gate writing writing talent search that John Malin put on, I think, last year. And so he's going to be penning a story in the next John Malin comic, The Second Graveyard Shift. But Shinobi Sasquatch is his take on like a character that's kind of inspired by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a wacky idea, but he looks so cool. He's part ninja, part Bigfoot, and he's also cursed with lycanthropy, so he's a werewolf too. It's a lot of things stuck into one character, but the artist Rob Willis made him look so badass, and it's basically he's this savior hero of the Pacific Northwest, where there's a lot of weird myths and monsters surrounding the woods over there. So I'm going to put up some awesome art here by Rob Willis. And when I first saw this project, they were posting a lot about it before the campaign even came out. So Rob and him have been working on it for about since last year. So I've seen pictures of it, the black and white inks and sketches that Rob has been doing. And when I was getting into looking for an artist, I actually contacted Rob. We started talking back and forth, and he was, really busy at the time, but we do plan on doing something that, well, I plan on, grabbing him up in the future because he's just killing it on the artwork. And I know he's really busy, and he's done some covers for other campaigns, which we'll get to in a second. That is just, man, they're mind-blowing. In his art, he just puts 110% into it. He was recently on, with Cal, a bunch of different streams and podcasts promoting the book, and they're just, super cool guys putting in hard work. Like, this is their dream, and I totally relate to that. They're super passionate about it. As you can see, the cover art here, and just all the, from going from pencils to colors, the art translates so well. So go on over to Indiegogo and Indycron, check out their book, and if you guys dig it, definitely back it, because they have stretch goals, and each stretch goal gives everybody something a little more for the campaign. And speaking of Rob Willis, he just did an alternate cover for Brutus the Badass, which is the next comic I want to talk about, out from Donald DeLay and Nasser Rabadi. This is probably one of the first CG books that I seen. I think I knew about Cyberfrog, right? And I saw that it got a bunch of money, but I didn't really know what CG was. And then I saw that Brutus the Badass was coming out, and I'm like, oh man, this is amazing, because I'm, obsessed with Lobo, and this is just a throwback to that genre, the hyper-violence bounty hunter character, super stylized, very cartoony, and he is just right up my alley. But at the time, I was working on my own comic. I've never, done and contributed to an Indiegogo at the time, so I just forgot about it. And then when I got into the community, I really didn't have a chance to pick it up because it had ended. So now they're working on stretch goals, or they had completed some stretch goals and were able to get some artists to do trading cards for them. And when Rob Willis did this trading card, he put so much detail into it. Everyone on the internet was blown away. And I was like, oh my good, I need this as like a poster or something. So they actually took it, reopened the campaign for a alternate cover, and made Rob Willis's trading card into the cover, colored by Kyle Ritter. Oh my, this is amazing, and it blew me away. It just made me so much more excited to have Kyle working with me on one of the Lost Pages ash cans for my next project that he'll be coloring. So it just gave me chills looking at this sick piece. So Brutus the Badass is about a cosmic bounty hunter, similarly to Lobo, but very different. In this storyline, he has his memory wiped. He doesn't know why the things are happening that they are. So he's being hunted now, and he has to, throughout the story, find out why he is being hunted. And, there's going to be the humor in there. And Nasser said that he's going to throw in some horror elements because, Nasser, he loves horror. But this is going to be kick-ass. I mean, Donald is so versatile in his art. Now, this is, he was on the Billy Tucci podcast last night, Crowdfunding Comics. And he was talking about his different styles. And this, being his very quick, cartoony style. And in a second, we'll see another one of his styles. But Brutus is going to be so fun. I'm so glad I got my hands on it. They reopened it because I get that sick cover. I think they might be turning that cover also into a poster for the rest of their backers that didn't get that cover. And yeah, I can't wait to read this because this is something that I could see myself getting into and wanting to write a story for. Once I know the character and learn more about it, that would be really cool to see, some fan fiction, or if I could actually write a story for them, because that would be, really badass. So the next one I want to talk is, so go over to IndieCron, check that out. And of course, you can go on IndieCron and look at the creator profiles also. I'm not sure if Brutus is on there, but Shinobi Sasquatch definitely is, and I'm not sure about the next one. But always go to Indiegogo. Their campaign is not going to last forever because they just opened it up so people can get this new cover. So head on over to the link in the description below and check out Brutus. The next one I want to talk about is coming out from the Boys from War campaign. Like I said, they were just on with Donald Delay on Billy Tucci's crowdfunding comics show this week. And wow, watching that podcast, it gave me a whole new respect for the War campaign guys, Ro and Gat, being on there. So this is called Vestige. Ro Kumar is producing it or publishing it, working with the boys over there, and Gat Hanzo is the writer, who seems like a super intense researcher when he's writing this book, and Donald Delay is doing the art. But Donald is taking more time with this art style. He's putting more detail into it. He's, as he said last night, he's using rulers to make the buildings. So it's a total 180 on the art style compared from Brutus to Vestige. And the Vestige story is really interesting. So it's kind of a superhero story, but based in reality. So the way people get their powers are through these relics, these famous historical artifacts that are found throughout history, but also plucked out from different fantasies and myths. Hanzo was talking about how he does a lot of research through being a super fan of historical fiction and nonfiction. So most of the research took longer than actually writing the script. As you can see, the art is it's really, really good. And I don't know if this is going to be colored, the interiors, but we have a colored cover, and not a lot has been known about each specific character, but I know that there's you have the relics, and then if anyone has a relic and is abusing its power, you have the hunters. So this character here, she's a hunter, and she's stacked with all of her weapons, and she goes around the world hunting these selfish relic holders, and so a lot. It's a really cool premise. A lot is left um, up to the mystery of wanting to be known. So you want to get the book, dive into it. They've raised a lot of money through this. Go over, watch their trailer on Indiegogo, and get into it. If you guys enjoy, this kind of reminds me of like Assassin's Creed. So you have like these secret societies that know about these relics and are hunting these abusers of them. Kind of reminds me of Assassin's Creed. It's really cool, and this is a very different genre than we've seen come out of the indie comics community here. And look at all these books. You have, Shinobi Sasquatch is more of a superhero monster book. You have Brutus the Badass, definitely more of a 90s extreme ultra-violence book. And then you have Vestige, and it's crazy to see those two books being drawn by the same person, because Vestige is, I feel like we haven't seen a book like this in a really long time. Very historical, very period based. I think we're going to be jumping around through times in this book to explore all the relics, and it just makes me happy to see the eclectic comics, the different varieties and genres coming out from this community. Awesome to see. So guys, head on over to Indiegogo and check out these books. Support them if something catches your eye, the art, the storyline, because these guys are putting in work. I mean, Brutus the Badass didn't have a campaign for a while because it ended. Now they're reopening it up, so if you guys didn't know about it, or if you did and you want to, you didn't have a chance to get your hands on it, now is the time. And yeah, support your indie scene, because this is a passion for all these guys, just like me. And if you guys haven't checked it out, I write my own comic. My brother is the artist. We're working, hard like these guys to bring you guys an awesome product, and it's called Magic Cop. It's a 1980s crime fantasy graphic novel based around the concept of smashing Miami Vice with Halloween Town and exploding. Basically, you have these D&D characters, as you can see the poster back here, super Miami Vice inspired, the awesome cover by Pablo Romero. So if you guys are interested in that, go on over to zaidcomics.com. You can see some of our covers for the upcoming graphic novel, and sign up for our mailing list. Then you'll be able to read right now for free a 12-page short story involving the characters of Magic Cop. So yeah, if you guys liked the video, hit that like button. Drop us a comment. Which of these comics, did you dig? And if you guys are new here, please subscribe. We put out a bunch of geek videos and news about our comics, other comics, everything to do with this little community. And hit that notification button so you know when we are putting up new videos. And thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate the support, and we will see you next time.